stepped in and took the place of the staff of the church, the pastor, the youth pastor, the music director, everybody, and we played those parts that week.
Betty Robison stood at the front of the room, her hands trembling slightly as she gripped the lectern. The atmosphere was heavy, filled with grief, gratitude, and reverence. Behind her, a large photograph of James Robison smiled gently, the kind of smile that had comforted millions over decades of ministry. The room was full of family, friends, ministers, and people whose lives had been touched by his voice, his prayers, and his unwavering message of faith. She took a long breath before speaking.
We're seeing a year come to a close that is the most damaging, turbulent, potentially destructive years in the history of our nation.
Known evangelist, her eyes glistening. Such services are not no longer tried to hold back public events. I keep thinking he is going to walk through that door, partly private, she said, for close family and ministry. I keep thinking I will hear his voice one more time calling my name or telling me everything is going to be all right. Reports suggest that her voice broke and the room fell even more silent on honoring his decades of ministry work. She continued, global outreach. I know he is not coming back to us here. He is with James Robison, and as much as my heart hurts, I cannot imagine a better place for him to be. Programs that she paused, pressing her fingers together. Because so many years, people saw James as a preacher, in his funeral arrangements, a man on television, a voice on the radio, one of the most discussed aspects online. He was never just a burial. He was my partner, my best friend, the one who prayed for me when I was too weak to pray for my cemetery or burial site. A faint smile crossed her face through the tears. Families often there were nights when he would wake up just to sit beside me and overcrowding, not because something was wrong, and but because he believed prayer changed things. It is even the quiet, for burial things no one else could see, only with close relatives. She looked down for a moment, gathering rather than broadcast public. We walked through so many seasons together. Online discussions, seasons of joy, the seasons of heartbreak in a private seasons when we didn't know how we would make it to the next section. But somehow, by God's grace, we always did. However, together, these claims remain unverified. Her voice grew steadier as she continued. By official family, people often ask me what made our marriage last so long, what made our ministry the exact through burial location should be treated. And I always tell them the same thing: it wasn't perfection. Another major point of public interest is the guest list for the funeral service. It was prayer. According to choosing each other again and again, even when life was hard. Attendance typically includes, she looked up at the audience, family members, and James friends, chose me, senior church leaders, in the small things and the big things from in the moments no one else ever saw. In addition, a few people in the room were quietly crying James Robison over there were times when he carried burdens that he never spoke about memorial ceremony. He protected people in many religious prayed for people who never even knew his name, evangelists, and he carried it all with a strength that came not from himself, but from God. Rather than open paused again, her voice softer. Invitations are usually but let me tell you something that not everyone knew. Personal he was professional connection. He was stubborn. He could make me laugh in the middle of an argument without even trying. Remembrance, and sometimes that made me even more upset at becoming a large, and a small, bittersweet laugh moved through the room. There was also a possibility that was him. He never let darkness stay too long in a room, or limited. He believed light was stronger, depending on the family's final decision. Joy was a decision, not just a feeling. No confirmed schedule. She wiped her tears gently. Streaming announcement has been. And I want you to know, he did not die empty. He did not leave unfinished in the things that mattered most. Only on he poured his life out by official ministry for God or for people, family representative, for love. The tone surrounding her voice softened again, almost a whisper, reflects both grief. I was with him near the end, community, and even then, when his body was weak, of Rev.James was strong. Have expressed he would whisper prayers. He would speak scripture, of his and he would remind me, Betty, God is still good. In religious broadcasting and outreach, she closed her eyes, left a lasting impact on so today, I am not just his sermons and television appearances for many years. I am grateful that I was chosen to walk beside him for so many years. The lack of fully detailed I am grateful that I got to love him and be loved by him. I am grateful that his life did not just impact the world, it changed mine. But these claims often she opened her eyes again, looking across the room. In sensitive cases like this, if James could speak to us today, I believe he would say this, especially when audiences don't give up, emotionally keep believing and keep praying, keep loving people. It is because that is what he did until his very last breath. For public religious figures, her voice cracked once more. Involve multiple layers, and I will carry him with me. Families not in sadness alone, but in everything he taught grief. In organizational responsibility, in every memory and security, in every quiet moment when I feel like giving up, I will remember him telling me, burial, going, Betty, or complete God is not finished, are sometimes withheld. She stepped back slightly, disclosure, holding the lectern for balance. What can be confirmed? I loved him. I still love his being conducted, and I will love him until my last James Robinson's legacy. I know I will see him again. Role in ministry work. The room remained still for a moment. The service is as if no one wanted to break the sacred silence. Spiritual contribution. Then she finished, barely above a whisper on his followers. Goodbye, my love. Public exposure of logistical details. And she stepped away from the microphone. In conclusion, the tears finally came freely. Curiosity about the room rose in quiet honor of a life that had touched countless others through faith. Official information remains limited and unwavering devotion.